everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful card using the adorable little rabbits from Friends of the Forest. I have a couple other videos using this stamp set with especially that deer with the deer builder punch. If you'd like to see those, make sure you click the link here on YouTube and hop back over to my blog. But I'm going to show you, we're going to do all kinds of things. We're going to first make this beautiful pattern here for the front part, and then I'm going to show you how I managed to do the mirror stamping there of the rabbit. Okay, I think what we'll do first is start with our background. You need some grid paper, and we're going to use a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to put a small piece of adhesive on the back to hold it down. We are using these layering masks, which I am in love with. These are so fantastic. Once you see how they work, you're just going to have to, have them. You're going to love them. The colors that I'm using are Pear Pizzazz, Calypso Coral, and Petal Pink. All right, we're going to start with Petal Pink. I have blending brushes. The other thing that you're going to need a lot of are Post-it notes. When we start inking this, even though you think that you're going to stay where you're supposed to, your hand is going to drift, I promise. So you're going to want to cover up all of the areas that you're not inking at that one time. This is also going to help hold your mask in place. I'm going to start with the more open flowers, and we're going to move all the way around the piece of white and add these to all over. All right, we're going to start with Petal Pink, and we're just going to go in circles. Okay, and then you want to pick it up and move it somewhere else. I kind of like to turn it so that they're not all going to be, exactly the same. Okay, let's do that again. This time, I think we'll just do let's do kind of like, how about like that? All right, now see this right here and this, cover that. I promise you, you're going to need to cover it. Let's see, be generous with your Post-it notes. All right. Again, and now let's pick it up, and I think I'm going to turn it this way and kind of go across like that. And I think we've got room maybe for one more here on the corner. Let's do kind of like that. And this time we need to move all of these up here. Well, that's going to be a little bit overlapping. Let's see. You kind of have to just play around to see which is the best. I'm just going to do part of that flower right there. Hopefully you guys can see way down here with the camera the way it's placed. Okay, now that's how it looks initially. Now take all your Post-its, and now we're going to use this part. And you have to kind of play around with it to see how it fits. And as soon as you see it, you'll know. Those petals that we've just inked fit inside those lines right there. All right, so get it lined up. And let's see if I can get it. I had it. There we go. All right, now take your Post-its again. Cover up any other part. All right, I'm going to switch. I'm going to take my Petal Pink, put that away, and grab Calypso Coral. And we're going to add in that dark color. Okay, And now you just want to take it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Rotate it around to do the same thing to all the other flowers, making sure you are covering up every inch that might be exposed in another place. Okay. Now, I think it goes like that. All right, cover these holes up right there. Okay. Okay, now lift it up. And let's come down here. Let's see, I believe we turn it like that. A little bit more Calypso coral. And then we've got that one that's left down here, which, what did we do? We went like that. All right. If I can find the center, you have to kind of turn until you find it. And with the pressure of the video, there we go. It makes it a little bit harder. All right, now let's see how it looks. Oh, it's so beautiful. I encourage you to play around with different colors, different color combinations. There's lots of options. Now I'm going to take this one and my leaves, I'm just going to kind of add some leaves here and there. Because I have done the flowers all over the place, the leaves are going to kind of overlap a little bit, and I'm okay with that. Cover up all the card spaces that you don't want inked. Grab your Pear Pizzazz. And we're just going to add a few. Okay? Not a whole lot. Just to kind of give it some variety of color. All right, I think we'll do that. I think we're just going to do that one right there. Oh, nope. Did you see me? I almost picked that up. I would have been very sorry. Cover all that up. Okay. Now, let's add some down here. And let's see, maybe up here. Right there. Cover that up. And maybe right here. And let's see how that looks. Beautiful. All right, I think we've got enough green. All right, I'm going to lift this off before we take away our grid paper. I'm going to take a piece of my black and white gingham ribbon and I'm going to color it with Calypso Coral Stampin' Blend. That's just going to give us a little bit of a different look. It's just kind of fun to match your ribbon exactly to the colors that you're using. And it's actually really easy to do. Just got to give it a few minutes to dry. Okay, there we go. You know what? That marker reminded me too. I actually also added some flicks of this. All right, take the brush end of your Calypso Coral marker and just flick on some of that ink like that. All right, now we're ready to cut that circle out of the side. We're going to need our cut and emboss machine for that. And I'm going to take one of my circle dies and I'm just going to do this lower section right here. Not even the whole circle. I just want about, I don't know, what would you say, 7/8 of that circle. All right. Now, we're going to do reverse stamping. Reverse stamping is when you take an image and you stamp it on a silicone sheet, and you lay your paper down on that silicone sheet, and it picks up the reverse of that image. Now we're going to want our little rabbits in this area, but it took me several tries to get it right because everything is turned backwards the way that we're stamping it. So I'm going to show you how I came to the conclusion this is how we have to do it. First, put down this piece that we just did, okay? Put it down upside down. Lay your silicone mat on top, all right? Now take your rabbit and you're going to lay it right here on this side of that circle. Okay, let's see. Does my piece look like it's a little bit crooked? It kind of does. All right, now, meanwhile, you've got this other piece of white ready to go, and we're going to lay it down in a minute to match that piece underneath. All right, so ink your rabbit, stamp, and I like to do it twice just to make sure I've got enough ink on there. Okay, now take that piece of white and you want to match that other piece. And let's see how we did. Perfect. All right, now we're going to stamp him again, just the regular way. Okay, so let me get a block. Move this out of the way. And we'll put him on a block like that. And we're just going to stamp him right there next to his little friend. There we go. Now these guys are pretty easy to color. All you've got to do is add a little bit of pale pink or petal pink to their cheeks and to the center of their ears. I'm just going to take my Just Jade and add a little bit of a line underneath them so they're not just floating around in space. All right, let's bring that piece back over. Grab your dimensionals, and we're gonna put dimensionals. We're gonna kind of be generous with our dimensionals. I especially like to put them around the opening of the circle, kind of to hold that up above that image that it's gonna frame. All right, now let's put that on there. And then we're just going to put that on a white card base. You could do any color card base that you want, but I'm just going to stick with white. And put that right there. All right, last but not least, I've got a little piece of Pattern Party Designer Series paper, and I'm going to cut the ends off. Put that right there. Oops, it needs to come down a little bit like that. And then we're going to get a little fancy with our sentiment. We're going to stamp, let's see, I've got to get that block back that I put the rabbit on. We're going to stamp this in Memento Black right here. And I'm going to fussy cut. Now, if you don't want a fussy cut, that's totally fine. You can get a die and cut that out, and it would be just fine. I have found the best way to fussy cut is to get a pencil and draw the line that you want to cut around your word. That's going to help your eye know exactly what to do. All right. And you're going to need a small pair of scissors. And just carefully follow that little line. You can make mistakes with your pencil, but you really can't make mistakes with your cutting. So this way you get the mistakes out of the way when you draw that pencil line. Because sometimes when you're fussy cutting and you cut uneven, or you went in too far, or something looks weird, you have to start over. But once you draw that line, you can kind of step back and look at it and decide if you like it. And then it's just a matter of following the line with your paper snips. All right, now I'm going to stamp this again because I've kind of stamped, kind of cut down too far there so that that's going to be straight, or it won't be, I won't be able to cut it out straight. So let's try that again, just right there. And then you can do this with your trimmer, or if you're brave like me, just get your scissors and we're going to cut that out. There we go. Happiness is being with you. I think that's really sweet. All right, we need mini dimensionals for this. And we're going to need even skinnier dimensionals for that little strip. So I'm just going to cut a real skinny strip off the edge here of my dimensionals. Make it really thin so that it can go back there. And we'll put that right there. Okay, now we're going to embellish a little bit. Remember that ribbon that we colored? It's nice and dry. So we're going to wrap that around. And, uh-oh, Mac's gonna say hello. That's one of my schnauzers. They love to be in my videos. Their voices anyway. Okay, now, last but not least, there's actually 2 things we haven't done. I forgot. I wanted to stamp some little hearts between them. I'm using the hearts from the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. And we're going to stamp that right there in Calypso. And then we're down to the last part. I'm going to add just a few of these elegant gems using my Take Your Pick tool. I like these. These are really neat. If you look at them closely, they look like old-timey buttons. All right, one up here. And for good measure, we'll do one down here. And there you have it, a very special card for somebody very special. All right, click the link here, go back to YouTube, go back to my blog. There's a free PDF with the measurements and supply list and 2 other Friends of the Forest projects. Thanks everybody, bye-bye.